Concert prices are skyrocketing, so why are fans still showing up? I'm John Bowden from Rock History Music. Please hit the subscribe button and the bell notifications so you're up to date with all our interviews and all our music news. I graduated in 1979, and I remember I moved to the big city. Coming from a small town, I never got a chance to really see the big concerts. They don't go to small towns. It doesn't make any sense. So I moved to the big city and I got a job and I got a girlfriend and I got a car and I went to as many concerts as I could. I mean, I'd go to Genesis and Journey, Billy Joel, John Denver, Elton John, Rush, all these bands that I always wanted to see. And I could afford, even though I didn't have a great job, I could afford to go to one big concert a week and take my girlfriend and buy a t-shirt. Do you remember those days? I kept all my concert tickets. I still have all the tickets. Of course, they were torn back then. And now I'd be lucky if I can see a concert once a month, and that hardly ever happens. Sure, now I live in a big house. I drive a nice BMW, but I can't afford to go to concerts all the time. I have different priorities. You know how it is. We grow up. We're not in our 20s anymore. This clothing's not going to buy itself. I like wearing nice clothing. Different priorities. So not everyone can do that. And on YouTube, even though I'm a broadcaster and I have a regular job, on YouTube, sometimes you have a good month and sometimes you don't have a good month. You don't know how it's going to be. But don't feel sorry for me. I've been in radio 35 years as a radio guy. You wouldn't believe how many free tickets I got, backstage passes, interviewing the artists. So don't feel sorry for me. Listen, that's the way it is. But I'm a broadcaster still, but I don't live in the city where I broadcast. I do my show via the internet. So I don't get free concert tickets. Again, I know. The industry's been very, very good to me. But here's the thing, and you know this. Fans are still willing to pay those high prices, especially with all those farewell tours happening. Step right up, folks. Might be the last time you get a chance to see these guys. And it's usually the truth, unless we're talking about Kiss. BNN Bloomberg did an article today. We will have links to the article in the description of this video, where they reported the average price of a ticket to the 100 most popular tours in North America has almost quadrupled over the past 2 decades. From $25.81 US in 1996 to $91.86 through the first half of this year, according to researcher Polestar. And the same goes for, of course, as you know, Broadway shows and sports. Lucas Shaw, who wrote this article, points out something very sobering. He says, Beyonce and Taylor Swift, for instance, in a few shows in a few nights can make more money than they do on album sales for the entire year. The concert industry made more than $8 billion in 2017, and that record should easily be broken this year. Then there's the VIP experience, which I've always been a fan of, because how many times do you get a chance to meet the band for sure? Instead of spending 3 hours before or after the show hoping to meet the artist, I'd rather spend that in money. Time is money. I'd rather spend a few $100 for the VIP experience. I think it's a great idea. Seeing a sound check, I love the way Toto do it. They give you a lot of value for your dollar. But the article points out that Jay-Z and Beyonce, for instance, have charged up to $2,000 for certain live after or before show experiences. I don't know what that would be. I'm not familiar with those artists that much. It also points out that artists like Ed Sheeran, for instance, is very conscious of concert prices. And he tries to have the tickets under $100. But of course, his show's different. And he doesn't have a dozen dancers and a dozen musicians on stage with him. So his shows actually cost less to perform or to produce. Lots of shows, though. All these shows, whether they're farewell or not, are selling out. We already know that kids have more money now than we did. Besides, we walk backwards in the rain and 40 feet of snow and rain and mud going to school in the 70s or 60s. But those kids are paying those prices. FYI, I should point out that this article, if you go into it, remember there'll be a link in the description of this video, is mostly about Pink and her experience and fans' experience going to see Pink. And as much as I admire her as a musician, or as an artist, I should say, more clearly, I have no interest in Pink, really. I think she's a cool gal, but I wouldn't go see her concert if it was free. Yeah, I know, the trapeze act, that's kind of cool, but it just doesn't interest me. Now, let me leave you with this. I want to know, how often do you go see concerts? What does it take for you to go see a concert? Do you do the VIP experience? And please answer this question, I'm really curious. What was the highest you've ever paid for a concert ticket? I think for me, it was only $200-300. I don't know. I don't go to a lot of shows. I don't remember. Last year I went to Toto, not this past summer, the summer before. That's the last big show I went to. And the band got me free tickets and we got to hang out with them after the show. But that's rare. I don't get a lot of that stuff anymore. And I don't know what that would have been worth, but it wouldn't have been cheap. And they may be on their last tour as well, even though they're not broadcasting that. But anyway, do you still go to shows? Do you do the VIP experience? And what's the most you've paid for a concert? Make sure you share our videos. I always appreciate it when you share it on social media. It means an awful lot to us. It means money to us. You share it, more people will discover our channel. Now and then people will say, hey, I can't believe you only have 36,000 subscribers. Well, help us out. We'd appreciate that. Comment on our videos. And of course, subscribe to our channel. Click on that subscribe button. I'm John Bowden. This is Rock History Music.